Welcome to the Car Guy channel. This week here we got a show all about vintage cars and all about the oldest and the coolest and the steam car featured steam car. We have a lot of very cool stuff. What an event. You're going to see the coolest and neatest stuff. And I think it's great that they preserve these cars out there for people to come down and see over at History Park. I'm telling you what they do to put this show here. It takes one whole year to put this particular event on. These people dress in costumes and they preserve the whole rights of the whole world all about classic and special interest cars. Hey, two things you don't touch. Don't touch that dial, and definitely don't touch any of these cars. These are spectacular.
Charleston, Charleston, made in Carolina. Some dance, some prance. I'll say there's nothing finer than the Charleston, Charleston. Lord, how you can shuffle every step you do.
I'm standing next to one of the coolest looking cars, not the guy, but the coolest looking car out there. And introduce yourself.
I'm Alan Travis from Phoenix, Arizona.
Nice to meet you, Alan.
Nice to meet you.
But you have a very real vintage rare car. I mean, that's a very unusual automobile.
It's a 1907 Stevens Duryea. It was made at a time that the cars were little, and this was a giant car. And this was created by Frank Duryea, who invented production of cars in America and had the first car in America of his own creation in 1893. He combined with Stevens Armaments, who had metallurgy down, and that was the biggest problem with the early cars. The metallurgy wasn't there, but the armament companies had that.
And they had the technology to make the steel stronger, weaker, whatever they needed.
And the factories to do it. So this was made in Massachusetts at that gun armament company, and they didn't make that many cars, but they were very, very highly sought after cars, and they were back then too. This one was in the Rockefeller family.
Oh, really?
For 70 years.
Let's talk a little bit about some horsepower. What do you got here?
It's 35 horsepower, but that's taxable horsepower. The actual horsepower is probably 100. Stevens was the first company in America to make a 6-cylinder motor. This one's all got separate cylinders, aluminum crankcase. It's got primer cups on the top that you pour gasoline in to prime it. And all of the pieces that you see on there, the intake manifold, the exhaust system, the cutouts, the water lines, all of this is original, has been on this car for 108 years.
And you brought down two really unusual, cool cars.
Yeah, I brought down this 1914 Stanley Model 606 Roadster and a 1900 Locomobile steamer.
When a guy bought a Stanley steamer back in the days, the training process to buy one or to own one, to use one, that had to be intense.
Yeah, because you've got it inside the cockpit there. I've got valves for the steam, valves for the gas, valves for air. This is the first valve.
And what does the first valve do?
It is where I put water into the boiler.
That's how you load the boiler up.
Correct.
Second valve
is this one right here. That's the gas valve for the pilot, so that I can light the pilot.
Okay, we counted the two valves in the front. Ken, what the heck do we do next?
Okay, so the next thing we're going to want to do is we want to make sure the gas is on. So this right here is the main valve for the gas.
This right here is a main valve for the gas.
And that shuts the gas off for everything.
Okay, shuts the gas off.
So
Okay, that's number 3. Where's number 4?
So then you want to come over here and you want to make sure that this valve is on, because that's the valve for the main burner.
Main burner valve on number 4. Go ahead, Ken.
Okay. And then I've already lit the pilot, and I'm going to turn this valve on, and this is going to turn the burner on so that we can get the fire going and start building up a head of steam.
Okay.
You're gonna dance it one time, the dance called the Charleston, made in Carolina.